And we're live. Welcome to episode 12 of By the Hearthside with me, your host, and Major to that side of me, and Kirbz right there. And everybody knows Kirbz.
It's me.
It is.
So,
Kirbz.
it might be a shorter bit of Hearthside today. We don't have quite a bit as much to talk about. A little bit of stuff going on. Who's going on with Gladiator and matchups and Olympian and whatever else Major and Kirbz want to talk about. So we'll get right into it. So then that way you guys can go back to playing all the fun games that you want to do.
So everyone's aware, obviously playoff week starts this week. Actually starts Sunday for Olympian League. And Gladiator obviously starts Monday. I do not consider Gauntlet week playoff week. So this is the official time for playoffs. We're really happy. Playoffs is really exciting. We're happy to be here. I believe Kirbz will be here Sunday to cast the first playoff matchup, if I'm correct. I'm not sure who's with him. It might be me. I'm not sure. Obviously, you already know I'll be the one casting the Gladiator playoff matchup. I'll be here all three playoffs. Excited to be there. So we're going to go through a couple of matchups today because obviously everybody wants to know who we think's going to win and why, etc. Emphasis on the why. I know we get lazy sometimes and we just tell you who's going to win. We don't really give a reasoning for it. So we're going to try to give the best reasoning. None of that crazy who's the best Leaf Elites player and why kind of shit.
Here we go.
Excited to be here nonetheless. I do not believe Baka plays this Sunday, if I remember correctly. I believe Baka's the 2 seed, so I believe Baka is on bye week.
By the way, all the playoffs will be actually downloaded and put up to our YouTube too afterwards. So.
So are we having next
our gauntlet?
Question, are we having somebody for the games that aren't streamed? Why don't we have somebody send you the VODs?
That would work.
So you can post the VODs.
Yeah, so we could have every playoff game.
So you can have every single playoff.
That would be cool.
That would be really cool.
Maybe you can have the captain send them to you.
That would be really great. I'll get in touch with all the captains, you or me.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Just an idea. This way we have them all on YouTube, and then if you want to watch your matchup that wasn't streamed, guess what? It's on YouTube.
Yep.
So I think it's a good idea. We'll look into it. Sounds like a lot of fun. Okay, so I think the first matchup is the 3 seed Stop Banning Draven versus the 6 seed Duke Diddly Dongers. I do believe Duke Diddly Dongers is running Kitty Alexa and Black Swan. Is it bot lane? Again, I'm not 100% sure.
I'm not sure either.
They have been putting up more of a fight. They still have not won a game. Yeah, I believe 420 is working on that, Gavin, already. We saw that opinion on the cast last week. That's a very good idea.
For what?
So who do you got, Kirbz, and why?
I definitely have to go with SBD. I mean, Duke Diddly Dongers has not impressed me all season long. SBD has kind of been pretty solid, but I've just not been high on DDD all season long, and I don't.
You don't think Black Swan and Kitty Alexa pull it out the ass, and
No, I mean, I'm pretty high on Kitty. I like Kitty. Kitty, go back to season 1.
Kitty's good people.
But Kitty's good people, but I just don't think playoffs is the time the team's going to turn around. So I'm going to have to go with SBD. That DDD's been not good for too long now. I just can't. I mean, maybe they turn around, miracle, first game of playoffs, but I just don't see it happening.
All right, how does DDD win, though? If DDD was going to win, how did they do it? Does SBD just throw it out the window? Or does Kitty have to do some crazy shit?
No, you really got to attack the bot lane. Obviously, you got to make sure, Draven and Jinx are banned. What? No, you got to make sure Draven and Jinx are banned. Make sure, Draven player does not get either of those 2 champs, and you really got to attack that bot lane, put him behind, and let Swan and Kitty get ahead, and that's really their only opportunity.
I think Draven's their mid laner now, so I'm not 100% sure how to attack. I do agree with you, though, that the bot lane needs to be attacked. I feel like Kitty has to literally play her best series, which is possible. I still think Kitty's one of the best supports in all of TES. I've always been really high on her. Most people say I'm too high on her. I think she's really good. I think she can really enable Swan. I think Swan's really aggressive. I think Swan tilts kind of easily, though. Swan's the definition of I'm going to go split push on Ash because I'm tilted. I love the guy, but, we've all been there. I've been there. But in my personal opinion, Kitty is one of the best sports in the league still. So if Kitty can pop off and keep Swan to the point, like Swan's really aggressive. Like if Swan actually gets the early kills that he's so aggressive for and doesn't just int, I honestly think they could win. Do I think that's what's going to happen? No. Do I want the upset story, the underdog story? Hell yeah, I want the underdog story. You know what I mean? I want Dude Diddly Dongers to be stop banning Draven, but I don't bet off of what I want. I bet off what I know. And if I'm a betting man, I'm going to take stop banning Draven to win. I do think it goes 2-1. Like I think Dude Diddly Dongers takes a game off them. And I think that's something they could be successful of. Hey, we took a game off them. Like we should be proud of ourselves.
Right.
So, like I think if Stop Banning Draven wants to win, I think they just have to beat the bot lane. I think they have to make it so that Swan doesn't pop off, and instead it turns into inting Swan that split pushes. You know what I mean? I think that's how they win. So we'll see. That's who I got to though.
Fair.
I think the next matchup, if I remember correctly, is the 4 seed RKZ versus the 5 seed Leaf Leads.
Woo! This is gonna be a good one. This is gonna be a banger.
It's gonna be a good game, actually.
It's gonna be a banger of a series.
Our Dubstress is gonna have to play his ass off for this one, I think. It is interesting because I do not know still if Leaf Elites what the hell they're doing with their jungler.
They don't know what they're doing.
I think he's their jungler still, but then they flame him all the time, so I don't know if they even want him to be their jungler. Literally don't understand. What they want to do there. If Leaf Elites takes it seriously, I do think Leaf Elites wins. The problem is, I've been saying this all season.
Right.
About if Leaf Elites takes it seriously, they win.
If they don't troll draft. And
literally have never taken it seriously.
Right.
So I don't know. Maybe it's playoffs. Maybe this is finally the moment where they're like, okay, we're going to take it seriously.
Right.
And I'm hoping that's the time they do it. I think Filbert the Wise is one of the best players in the league, honestly. I'm very high on Filbert. I think Filbert's one of the best players in the league. You know what I mean? He's an MVP candidate, in my opinion.
Speaking of, were those brackets done like that?
They are done, but they will not be announced till finals.
Okay.
Like, I know who won. But the point is, we're not going to announce them till... It's not a playoff award, so we're going to announce them later in playoffs, I believe. Actually, I'm not 100% sure who won. I'm pretty sure I have an idea, but I'm not 100% sure. But the point is, I think Leaf Elite still wins. I think they win 2-1. I hope that this is the Leaf Elites I've been hoping for all season. So I think if Leaf Elites don't troll their drafts and play up to their potential, and they don't flame their jungler, I easily think they win. If RKZ is going to win, though, they need our Dubsters to legitimately 1v9.
Right, and which he can.
Which he can. He can, but that's what they need him to do.
I'm going to agree with you that it is going to go 3 games, but I do think RKZ is going to end up pulling it out. Week in and week out here on Friday nights, we talk about Leaf Elites is just such a good team, and then they troll their drafts and they troll the game, and all throughout the season, I was high on Leaf Elites, and I felt like they had the potential to make a run to actually win the entire league, but I never know what's going on with them. I don't know if they're a for fun team, if they're taking it serious. I just don't know where their heads are at. And I know RKZ is a pretty known quantity. I mean, I know our Dubstress is, my personal pick for MVP of the league. I do think he has that 1v9 potential, and I just don't know whether Leaf Elites is going to troll or not. So I'm thinking it's going to go to 3 games. Maybe Leaf Elites, puts their for fun attitude behind them, and they draft strongly and they play strongly and they win, but I honestly think our Dubstress can hard carry and win the series in 3 games. So I'm
Yeah,
a little dark
I can
vision.
see the series going either way. I still will take Leaf Leads to win 2-1, because playoffs are a completely different monster than
Right.
regular season. But it's good that we disagree. You know what I mean on this one. I figured we would disagree on this one.
I'm excited to see Art
Did you
Dubstress
vote for
play.
Art Dubstress as your MVP?
I did.
You did?
Yep.
I figured you did. I
I
assumed you
did.
did. I figured you did. You've been really high on him all year. I think we've both been very high on him
He's
all year.
nuts. He's just
Yeah.
nuts.
He's a great player.
Yep.
All right, so that's your matchups for the
Olympian.
League. Unless
Obviously.
Qurkii has anything to add for those matchups, but I know she doesn't watch Sunday night, so I don't know if she
I
has
really don't. I'm
Syndicate
sorry.
and Baka obviously are on a bad week.
Yeah. Obviously, Syndicate and Bach are on bye. So obviously they're not playing. All right, so your Gladiator matchup is the number 3 ranked team NFG versus the number 6 ranked team Syndicate. We watched Syndicate absolutely shit stomp SKG in the gauntlet the other day. Syndicate has not lost in 4 weeks, I think.
I think they're coming back. I seen them when they started doing a turnaround.
Yeah, since they fixed their roster, they haven't lost.
Yeah.
So I am intrigued to see how that goes. Who do you got and why?
100% Syndicate. I've been saying it. The past few weeks.
You think they upset MG?
100%. I think Syndicate.
Okay.
Ever since like you said, that defining week where they turned it around, and I said this, 2 weeks ago. I said this last, like every week I say this. They just every single week that they win, and then the next week they win, but they look better, and then the week after that they won, and they looked better. Like every week, not only have they been winning consistently and haven't lost in a while, they've been looking better every single week.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what happened. Obviously, roster changes, and they went through a whole lot of stuff at the beginning of the season, but obviously things clicked for them 3 or 4 weeks ago, and they're just looking fantastic, and they've gotten better every week. So I think Syndicate will make a pretty deep run, honestly, in playoffs.
What do you think, Qurkii? You got Syndicate too?
Yeah, I do. I seen them when they started turning it around, and I just seen them absolutely demolish the first time while I was streaming for them, and it's just every time I see them now, it's just one right after another after another. It's something just clicked for them now, and it's just working, and I just feel like as long as they don't screw up their pick and bans, they should be good.
This one's a hard one actually because
only for you.
No, it is a hard one. I actually go off the matchups. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I think NFG's been a good team all season.
Mm-hmm.
The problem I have with NFG right now is the last game NFG played, they got absolutely raffle stomped by Baka Preschool. Stomped. They didn't play Gauntlet Week because it was obviously bye week. So, you have to think that mentally sticks with you a little bit. They don't get a bounce back week. They don't get anything like that. They're not going into playoffs with momentum. They legitimately just got their asses kicked right before playoffs started. And Syndicate is the exact opposite. Syndicate's running, a 4-game winning streak or something like that? They're running high right now. Their drafts look great. Foss is just killing it with their drafts. NFG's also, some of the NFG players are playing in BOL on Wednesday nights, and I feel like maybe they're putting a lot of focus in the BLL and a lot less focus in the TES. And I get it. I understand why, but you can see the difference. I'm going to take Syndicate 2-1 to beat NFG as my upset also this week. I love Downfall. He's one of my favorite people in the league. Obviously, he plays for me in the Bastard team. He's one of my... I really like the guy. I like Coconut. I like them all. Syndicate's just the momentum that they got going on. I honestly think they upset NFG.
Yeah, and that you can't really downplay momentum, like you said. It sucks, your last game of the season before going to the playoffs getting stomped, but it swings the other way too. Syndicate has just been getting better and better and winning games, and it's the perfect time to make a run is 4 weeks before playoffs where you make a fantastic run where you look better and better every single game. That swings both ways, and it came at the perfect time for Syndicate.
If NFG is going to beat Syndicate, they have to get a lead in their top lane because I do think that Devil Hosting is better than Mons. just from a pure like player standpoint. I think Devil Hosting is one of the best top laners in the league. But Syndicate does a really good job of like understanding not so much where Syndicate's weaknesses are, because I think Mons is a good player, but they understand where other teams' strong points are.
Mhm.
Like if top side of the map for NFG doesn't win, if top side of the map for NFG doesn't win, they don't win. Like you saw what happened to Downfall and Illumi versus Yodigi and Potato. That was bad.
Yeah.
I also think that Syndicate's bot lane's pretty good. I think Tuggles is extremely good. So it's like they have to get leads topside, NFG does, to win the game, in my opinion. And Syndicate's really good, or Faust, I should say. Really understand that though, and I guarantee it's gonna be like Mons is gonna be like on Orin and like stuff like that, where you don't get to smash the lane.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because and it's not because Faust doesn't trust his top side, it's because Faust knows that's where they have to win through.
Yeah.
So you just get rid of it. You know what I mean? And like that's why I'm taking Syndicate to win too. The next matchup is a really interesting one actually, because it's number 4 NGC versus number 5 UC. Reminder: we had UC number 2 at the beginning of the season.
No, there was no we. There was a you.
Fall.
No, me and Kirbz both agreed they were the second best team.
They
looked so good on paper. Then they lose Darsu.
They had a fall race, yeah.
Then they lose Darsu, and then all this other stuff. But still, the point is, they barely made it out of the gauntlet. They did make it out though. So they did lose to Mythical Madness last game of the season, too. So if you think about it, UC is also one of those teams that I think have lost the last 2 weeks going into playoffs. You know what I mean? That's another team that the momentum's really down. You got to wonder if they're looking more towards next year than they are this year now.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Maybe like writing playoffs off already, like, oh, we're not.
Like, we're not going to... Like, it's one thing to win your quarterfinal matchup, but, like, it's hard to imagine you're going to go into semis if you do make it to semis and beat Vodka Preschool.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like maybe you look past that a little bit. So this is a really good matchup for me. Who do you got and why?
I don't know, man. Like,
what was the last one that NGC was against? Do you remember?
I do not remember who they played last. NGC, who'd you play last? Who'd you play last time you played?
You're against Interlogic.
Interlogic, and they lost to Interlogic in 3 games. But in my opinion, Interlogic is the second best team in the league. So they did lose in 3 games. UC's lost to Mythical Madness, and then I don't remember who they lost to before that.
Nope, just 2 games, they said.
Yeah.
I am going to go with NGC because, A, Sammy's let me down way too many times this season. But seriously, you know, like you said, we were so high on UC, and obviously things fell apart this season. Obviously, they've got some really good players. You know, their top and mid are obviously very, very solid. You know, Sammy does his thing on his Nautilus and his hooker champs in the bot lane. But his infamous hooker champs. But, you know, I'm really high, you know, and I'm sure you're the same way on this. I'm really high on, like, momentum, like we just talked about. Like, you know, coming from, like, a sports background, you know, that plays a very big role. Like, you know, like competitive sports growing up, you know, when I played basketball, baseball, I'm sure you feel the same way. Like, you lose a few weeks in a row and, like, just team morale is just down. And, you know, you see, like, having such high expectations on them at the start of the season and then not fulfilling those expectations and losing, you know, the past few weeks and, like, like, they scraped their way out of the gauntlet, but, like, barely getting out of the gauntlet. Like, I don't know. It's just, I just think that momentum's huge. And, like, maybe I'm wrong, totally off base of this. Maybe they're like, all right, well, we made it out of gauntlet. Let's use this as, like, you know, our stepping stone into, you know, we can actually make a deep run in playoffs. But I just don't see it. I just don't think UC's got enough, I guess, gas in the tank, if you will. Like, they've just had a disappointing season, and I don't see them making it too far. I just don't think they can win a series versus NGC, personally. That's how I
The
feel.
biggest, this is a really good matchup, and the reason why it's such a good
I
matchup
agree.
is because the teams really stack up really well together. In my opinion, UC is very top lane and mid lane focused. I
Mhm.
think Dempsey's one of the best top laners in the league.
Yeah.
And I think everyone here will agree with that. I do think he's one of the best top laners. I think Demandis is the best mid laner in the league.
He's one of the best players in the league, period, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
but the problem with that is NGC's top laner is really good.
Right.
Like, he's top 3 in the league also. And NGC's mid laner might not be on Demandis' skill level of a pure like individual player, but NGC's mid laner understands his role and doesn't int. You get what I'm saying? Like I think and NGC's mid laner is still very good. Like, he's top 5 still. But like, he's gonna play control mages, he's gonna control the lane, he's not gonna int, he's gonna keep his farm up, he's gonna keep Demandis in lane and not let Demandis solo carry the game. Because if Demandis doesn't solo carry the game for UC, UC does not win. It's that simple. Like, Dempsey's in a hard matchup because their top laner is actually very good. And if you look at it from that point of view, it's like, okay, top laner versus top laner, if you consider that squashed, you think UC's Demandis is better than NGC's mid laner, then it's like, oh, okay, UC wins just by,
Right.
for looking at that. But then you forget there's 3 other positions in League of Legends.
Right.
I would take NGC's jungler over UC's jungler every single time. No offense to UC's jungler, but I think NGC's jungler is very good. I think, and then like, I don't think either of their bot lanes are that great, but I still would take NGC's top bot lane over UC's bot lane.
Right.
So
Agreed.
I'm also going to take NGC. I'm also going to go with NGC. I think NGC wins. I think it does go 3 games. I think Dempsey or Demandis have like a pop-off game. I do think it goes 2 months.
I think all of our games this weekend, for both leagues, probably end up going 3 games. Like, maybe 1 or 2 series might be too old.
I can see the Duke Daily Donger series going too.
Yeah, I can see that being too old. I can see maybe Syndicate 2-0. But outside of that, like, Syndicate might go 3 games. I think NGC and UC goes 3 games. I think RKZ LE goes 3 games. Like, I think we got some really good matchups Sunday and Monday.
Yeah, I also would take NGC. I love my UC guys, I really do. But you can tell it looks like they don't practice anymore, or they don't do anything like that.
Right.
Whereas like NGC and like UC practice.
Well, they're not going to be a team next year, right? Like, UC's not a thing anymore.
I don't think so.
Right. So that
not that I know of. I have no idea what teams are going on next year.
Right.
You know what I mean?
As far as I know, I don't
practice that much anymore, so I don't see how that would reasonably happen.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I could see NGC definitely beating that. I definitely think NGC beats them.
Yeah.
Who do you got, Qurkii? You believe in Dempsey and Sammy 2 slap?
I don't know. Like Kirbz was saying, I feel like momentum is a big thing, and they have been going further and further down this rabbit hole of not doing the best picks, not being able to pull the wins out or anything. That I just feel like UC has lost the drive to try to win.
I think UC literally is to the point where it's like, okay, well, let's hope Dempsey carries us. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or like, let's hope Demandis carries us, and that sucks.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that's going to happen this week. Like, if they were matched up with a different team that, was bot side strong instead of top side strong, maybe. But this is literally, in my opinion, the worst possible matchup for UC they could have got in the first round of the playoffs.
I just feel like they're looking towards next season at this point, personally. I feel like I just feel like Sammy's kind of like, he's been talking about not wanting to play anymore, and I think that's just something that he wants to try to manage his own team, and I just feel like their bot lane's not in it as much. I know they've had issues with their jungler going back and forth. Didn't they switch out their jungler like 2 or 3 times now?
I think that, and I know they swapped their AD carry a few times too.
Yeah, so I just feel like there's just not that same momentum at the very beginning that they had, where they were starting to win. I think like you pointed out, the 2 parts that were the best were their top and their mid, and it's constantly being the best, but you have to have more than that to win a game. Like, you can have one person carry you, and hell yeah, Dempsey's great, and he could be Ornn or he could be Darius, and he could kick the ever-living crap out of everybody or never die, but that doesn't mean you're going to win the game. If you can't land Nautilus hooks, if you can't land Morgana Qs, if you can't, if you can't do those certain things and help you, be a utility person for the person that you're trying to carry, for the champion that's supposed to carry you, you're pretty much useless, and you're just another body to add to their gold.
Yeah, League of Legends is definitely a team game, and like I said, NGC matches up very well with them. Like, Dempsey's not going to just smash for their top laner. Demandus isn't just going to smash NGC's mid lane. Like, it's just not happen. They need a different lane to carry, and I wouldn't count on it.
Yeah. Well, let's go back.
So,
let's go into LCS.
Yeah, let's move into LCS. So the matchup this week, everybody knows, is FlyQuest versus EG. The winner plays Cloud9. Who do you got? How many games and why?
Yes, 20. I don't know.
It's a best of 5, so. This is more a me and Kirbz question, because Qurkii does not watch LCS.
I don't. Sorry.
It's a hard one. I think it's going to be a really good game. It wouldn't surprise me if it goes to 5. I, just off the top of my head, am probably going to go EG. They took a game off Cloud9. I just think EG's looked solid. Like, even in their win against us, they looked solid. I don't know. It's a hard one, Chad. I think it's going to be a really good series. I don't know. I just think, like, obviously, Svenskeren, things were shaky at certain points during the season, but, like, he's an MVP jungler. He just came off an MVP season. They've got a decent bot lane. The FlyQuest is looking really good, too. I don't know, Chad. What do you think? I think probably EG.
I'm going to take EG. I think it goes 4 games, maybe 5.
They took a game off Cloud9. Like, that's
the reason why I think EG, though, is because EG's weak point is topside. Like, Kumo's not that good. But FlyQuest's weak point also is topside because solo's not that good. It's not like Cloud9 where Licorice can just, bend Kumo over, basically.
Right.
So I don't see how FlyQuest matches that well with them. Like, Power of Evil is disgustingly good, but, like, Jizuki plays the game completely opposite of Power of Evil.
Right.
Power of Evil kind of just, plays control mages, tries to dominate the lane, tries to team fight well. Jizuki plays assassins or side lane mages, and then he won 3-1s all game.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I don't see how FlyQuest beats that. So my next question is, if we both took EG to win, does EG have any chance to beat Cloud9 in the finals? Or do you think it's
I think they
3-1?
And I don't know if you remember this from last week, but I predicted
You
EG
called
would
it
take
3-1.
one game. I called 3-1. They take a
Do
game.
they take one game in finals, though?
I think they take one game in finals. That's it. I think it's another 3-1.
I don't even know if they take one game. Like, I
don't think FlyQuest can take a game. Like, if FlyQuest
I
ends up
don't even know if EG can honestly take a game in finals. Like, I know they took one the last time, but, like, Cloud9 obviously saw that mistake, fixed it, and then smashed them afterwards.
Smashed them, yeah.
And I don't see how Cloud9's going to make that mistake again.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I honestly don't see
I wouldn't be
Cloud9
surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised if Cloud9 sweeps them.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it was a sweep either. I don't think FlyQuest if FlyQuest ends up winning, I don't think they win a game. Like, I'm 100% certain C9 3-0's FlyQuest. EG, like I said, it wouldn't surprise me if they 3-0, but I can see them getting a game. Like, Chizuke could still have his pop, but, like, if he gets ahead early, he could be dangerous. Like, I don't think EG, and EG's going to learn from that series too. Like, they gave, Niski whatever he wanted, which was Zoe. Happened to be Zoe that series. Is always disgusting. But, like, they have things they learned from that too. So I can see him still pulling a game. I honestly think EG wins. I think EG beats FlyQuest, and I would go on and officially predict 3-1 Cloud9 beats EG. But we've also seen Cloud9 in a finals situation many, many, many times before and choke it. This year obviously feels different, and I'm praying to the LCS gods that it is different, but I don't know. I've been burned too many times as a Cloud9 fan.
Yeah,
it just feels different this year.
What percentage do you give FlyQuest or EG to beat Cloud9 in the finals?
FlyQuest, I give like 1% chance, e.g., I'll give them like a 5.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I
Low,
think it's like
low.
0% and then like 99% chance they don't. Like maybe if Licorice gets sick and doesn't play, you know what I mean? Like an act of God, you know what I mean, kind of thing. But I don't see how they. I literally don't understand how it would possibly happen, honestly. All right, so everybody reads Reddit, right? The new big thing is the Double Lift drama going on about Double Lift most
Spicy.
likely being traded. Where does he go, and why is it a good fit, if anywhere?
420 is certain he's going to TSM. Were you in the TSM boat? You were
quite certain on TSM.
I don't think he go like. They just got Kabe, like, got him over from EU. Like, do you think they're gonna? I mean, maybe like we talked about the other day, like if they find somewhere to send Kabe in like a 3-way type of trade buyout deal. But I mean, they just put a lot of resources into getting Kabe over from EU. Like, you think they'd abandon him after one split? I don't know.
I think so. I think if you get a chance to get Double Lift, you take the chance. Just because of the fact every time Double Lift's gone somewhere, he wins.
But like even after the disappointing split, you still.
Yeah, he had a disappointing split before he went to TSM, and then won multiple championships in a row. You know what I mean? Like, he took a season off, got Team Liquid out of relegation, came back. You know what I mean? Like, he's still the winningest AD carry in the league. He's still he's still arguably the best AD carry in the league. You take the chance.
Sure.
Especially when him and Bajurg have so much history. Him and Bile have so much history. You know what I mean? Like, I think you take the chance if you're TSM. Obviously, we all know that he's dating the TSM president of operations.
I don't think that's going to play into it.
I think that does play into it, though. I think, like, obviously has open communication with TSM.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if he actually gets traded, though. I think it's TSM or bust. Like, I don't see how, as any other team, you could possibly trade for Double Lift, knowing that Double Lift doesn't want to be there because his contract expires after this year. So it's like you're going to pay him all this money and he's just going to leave you anyways. Like, it just, and then Double Lift's just going to be unhappy.
I mean, the article on Reddit seemed pretty solid that it was a pretty likely thing. So I don't know.
So we'll see. He was duoing with Biofrost again last night.
Right. I did see that.
So a lot of it is screaming TSM. But like I said, if he gets traded, he goes to TSM. But it's either, I think it's like a 70% chance he goes to TSM. I think it's a 30% chance he stays on Team Liquid.
You think there's 0%
chance he goes anywhere else? The only other scenario I've actually thought, he gets traded to TSM, Kabe gets traded to EG, Bang goes back to Korea.
You think Bang would go back to Korea at this point?
There's rumors he wants to go back to Korea.
I mean,
that's the only other scenario I could see that makes sense from like an import perspective.
Right. I mean, he actually had a really good Bang had an amazing.
Because obviously,
split.
Team Liquid, if they're trading Double, if Team Liquid expects to start tactical.
Right.
You know what I mean? Obviously. Right. So that's the only scenario I could see.
Huh. Well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe Bang, he had a disappointing split or two when he first came over, and then obviously he had a pretty damn good split. This split, like he played out of his mind.
I
can see him.
Things I can see wanting to go home. I could get that from an import perspective.
Right. Yeah. Especially now that he's kind of got his form back, I could see it. I haven't personally seen the rumors or whatever that he wants to go back, but I can see that being a thing.
Yeah. So we'll see. But that's my personal opinion. All right.
I think it'll shake up the LCS though if Double Lift does go to TSM. That's for sure.
I would agree. I think Team Liquid's giving up too early though.
Yeah.
I think it was Spring Split.
They're still a super team.
We'll argue about Spring Split all night. We've discussed this over and over again. Obviously, Double Lift did post after he got eliminated from playoffs that watching playoffs from home was disgusting.
Right.
That he hated it. I think they did not have Broxa for most of the season. And I think a lot of that team underperformed minus Jensen.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think give them a whole off season of practice, all that. I still think Team Liquid is a top 2 team in North America.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they had a bad split. Like, I'm obviously a huge Cloud9 fan.
And Cloud9 battling it next year.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't think it would, like, they just had 4 amazing, like, most dominant run in LCS history, and then they have one off split. I agree. Like, don't jump ship. Don't let Doublelift
I
go.
think they should change the coaching staff.
If anything, yeah.
Like, I think, if you remember, Kane, Team Liquid was the 9th to 8th place team before they got Doublelift and made a super team.
Right.
Like, Kane's not a good coach.
Right. He just had
Like,
insane talent.
Anybody can coach the roster he has to success. You know what I mean?
It's like the whole LeBron thing. Like, no matter what, like the meme of LeBron's his own head coach. Like, he went to Cleveland and he coached himself. Like, it's just super teams. Like, you don't need a coach whenever you have that much.
Yeah,
talent.
I don't think Kane's a good coach whatsoever. I think that if you're going to give up on anyone, you give up on the coach first. Change the coach before you jump ship and just start trading your players.
TSM needs to take that advice.
That's true. That's besides the point. All right, so that's it for our normal topics. I know Kirbz had something he wanted to talk about today too on Hearthside tonight.
I did. I know we don't have a shit ton of people here, and I do want to play. I'm gonna make a post. I'm gonna do a poll, but I know a lot of people are hyped for Valorant. I'm hyped for Valorant. I haven't played anything else but Valorant since I got the key. And obviously not everybody has the keys, but I know more and more people are getting them. I know a lot of people have been playing. So I was thinking, like, during this off season, if we have the interest and we could get enough teams to have like a little mini Valorant tournament, and if people are interested in that, like I said, I'm obviously going to make a poll on the Discord, but let me know. I think I'm going to get with Perfect, and we're going to kind of get something together because he's been real big on it. But I already know personally of like 10 people, like 10 to 12 people that have been playing and really like Valorant. So I think it'll be just fun as like an off-season thing. Like, obviously no prize pool, it's nothing serious, just like a quick weekend tournament with 4 to 6 teams preferably. But I'm just super hyped about Valorant, and I think that'd be just kind of cool to fill the gap of we won't have much content coming out. Obviously, people aren't going to be playing on Sundays and Mondays during the off season, and I think it'll just be a fun little thing to do. So if you guys are interested in Valorant, I'm gonna be looking out, or you guys look out on the Discord. I'm gonna drop a poll, and if we get enough people, then we will make it a thing. I think it'll be fun.
Like a Twitch Rivals Valorant tournament?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, exactly.
TES tournament? Okay.
TES Rivals.
Fun. I'm interested. I will obviously be involved as much as Kirbz needs my help. I'm excited though. I think you guys will have a lot of fun. If you're interested, please reach out. I think he's going to do a poll, like you said. So, poll, vote on it. You know what I mean? It sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Who do you have? You have anything to add, Qurkii, tonight?
No, I don't think so.
Here we.
Yeah, the Twitch chat is making me laugh. I will actually. So, I had the money burning a hole in my pocket as I asked Chad to try to talk me out of this. But I will be streaming a little bit more come next week. Like, actually streaming. So, for once.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she bought a capture card tonight. Qurkii did. Doesn't even stream. Bought a capture card. So I told her she better stream now. So obviously, us TES people try not to pull stream at the same time to pull from each other for obvious reasons. So I told Qurkii that when she does stream, I will happily host her. You can catch her late afternoon normally. It'll be a ton of fun starting next week. She plays a lot of like Spyro, Jack and Daxter's, stuff like that. A lot of like the funner like.
Play probably D3 games. Too, getting ready for D4. I considered what else I have downloaded. But not a lot of
obviously,
TS.
obviously, you know what I'm doing right now. We are streaming Resident Evil 2 right now. We just finished Final Fantasy VII stream. Don't get us started. Me and my Leaf Elites boys had to deal with the whole goddamn story, and we were very upset when it ended. We are streaming RE2. We've been working on getting Kirbz to stream, but it's Kirbz, so who knows?
Yeah, I don't.
He gave up.
Yeah.
Obviously, Perfect Build is streaming all the time. Please check him out. He does a lot for the Discord. So when he's on, I would totally suggest that you check him out. I would appreciate it a lot. Short of that, I don't think we really have anything else to say. I love you too, William.
Always nice. We'll do probably 5-10 minutes of Q&A?
Yeah, we'll do some Q&A.
Yeah,
Make sure it's
yeah.
reasonable questions, though, guys, or I'm not. And then ping at who you want to ask.
It really doesn't matter because you're gonna ask both of them, and I'm just gonna read off the questions, so that works.
Who knows? Maybe they got to ask you something.
Yeah, I doubt it.
Yeah, sometimes. All right, Q&A. Let's go.
Wait, Perfect does stuff?
Yeah, Perfect does a lot for the Discord.
Oh, I'm doing great. How are you, Will? I'm doing really good. I'm eating vegetables and trying to be healthy and drinking lots of water in my big ass cup.
Wow.
Why is Kirbz always wrong?
I don't feel like I am.
Okay. Based off your
I
prediction,
think
who wins
that
shorter, and
if-
who do you think Syndicate will choose to go against?
I think that if I was Syndicate and if Stop Banning Draven wins and Leaf Elites wins, I would pick Stop Banning Draven if I was Syndicate. I think Leaf Elites has more overall talent if they're not trolling their drafts. I think Foss knows that. So, like, if Leaf Elites beats RKZ, obviously that's Leaf Elites not trolling their drafts. If RKZ does win, I think Foss takes RKZ.
Yeah.
That's my personal opinion on what Syndicate does. What do you think?
I've never played Minecraft.
I mean, I totally agree with you. I think they take SBD over it would be RKZ for me, but I definitely think Syndicate would take SBD over RKZ, and Baka would be left with, in my opinion, RKZ. But even if it is Leaf Elites, I think either way, SBD is pretty much a shoe-in over DDD, and I think Syndicate picks SBD over either of the other two teams.
So does Lucifer Eyes, is he asking, do you still doubt the Cinderella
He plays
story?
for Syndicate. He's wondering if I think Syndicate comes back and wins the whole thing. I did take Syndicate to beat NFG.
Is that literally supposed to be Cinderella, though, is my question.
Yeah, it's supposed to be Cinderella. I do not take... I'm assuming Baka Preschool picks Syndicate. They might not pick Syndicate. Maybe they pick NGC if NGC wins. Because maybe the momentum of Syndicate, they don't want to play them. Right. The point is, I don't think Syndicate beats Baka Preschool.
No, I don't think anybody beats Baka Preschool.
Yes. Do I honestly think you beat Baka Preschool in a best of 5? No.
I don't think anybody beats Baka Preschool in a best of 5.
Baka Preschool in a best of 5.
Even with Syndicate looking as good, yeah.
I think the only team that contends with Baka Preschool in a best of 5 is Interlogic. Maybe I'm wrong. I just think Interlogic matches up well with Baka Preschool.
Right.
Their support's really good. Potato's really good. Their AD carry does his job. Yodigi's really good. Dathalu is really good. You know what I mean? Rufu does his job. Like, they match up really well with Baka Preschool from a talent perspective.
Right.
So, like, that's why they're the two best teams in the league, and those are the two teams. Do I think Interlogic beats Baka Preschool in the best of 5? No. I don't. Could I see it happening? Yes. So do I think Syndicate making semis is an absolute amazing achievement for Syndicate? Hell yeah, it is. You didn't win a game till like week 6, week 7. Right. Like you ran the gauntlet, you beat the 3rd place team, and you make semis. Like, good job, Syndicate. Right. But do I think they beat Baka Preschool? No.
Will there be room for upsets?
I took Syndicate to beat NFG. That is technically an upset. The 6th place team beats the 3rd place team. That's a pretty big upset in the sporting world.
Right.
Well, upsets go by seeding. Like, that's the only way you can do them.
Right.
In any sport. And yes, going by seeding, that is considered an upset. So that's my personal opinion.
Here we go. Here we go. Here it is. Never fails.
The worst Leaf Elites member, whoever does your draft. Do I think Interlogic or Baka Preschool? Oh, Philbert, fix your draft. I'm just kidding, Philbert. I'm just kidding. Do I think Interlogic or Baka Preschool could lose against NGC Syndicate? I think Interlogic NGC is a really good matchup in a best of 5. I know Interlogic just 2-0'd NGC. I do know that. I think that's a really good matchup in a best of 5 scenario, though, when you're able to change draft up and do that kind of stuff. I could see that being a really good series. If I was, if I had to, do I think either of them will upset them? No. If I had to put money on who's most likely to upset, that's who I would put money on. I think NGC Baka Preschool matches up well, too, but Baka Preschool will most likely pick Syndicate, which puts NGC versus Interlogic if we're going by seeding. But who knows? Who knows what they'll do? I guess we'll find out.
Right.
What would Doot Diddly Dongers do to have to beat SPD? We talked about this earlier. Kitty Alexa has to play the best series she's ever played. She has to pop off to the point. Their AD carry is pretty good still. She has to pop off to the point where Swan can do the aggressive things Swan wants to do without him inting his goddamn face off. That's how Doot Diddly Dongers wins. That would be the only way they would win. Do I think they win? No. Is that the way they do win? Yes. Because, like, Valtzi's pretty good. Like, Valtzi's not going to int his face off. Like, Valtzi's not going to hard carry a game. That's not Valtzi's style. That's never been Valtzi's style. He's going to play Morgana. He's going to play Qurkii. He's going to do that kind of shit. But he makes it so the enemy mid laner doesn't carry the game either. Usually. Like, Valtzi does a pretty good job when it comes to that normally. If Valtzi plays safe, which he should be playing safe, because he's obviously being out, like the people against him are just better than him. But we'll see. I'm not going to answer who the best player is on teams.
Or worst.
Or worst. I just trolled Leaf Leads when I told him it was whoever was doing the draft. I'm not answering that. You want to know who's the best players? Look at my votes for All-Stars when we do this. And
Voting for myself.
Who's my favorite son? William. 100%. No argument. I like Sammy, but William's nice to me. Sammy talks back too much. My All-Star vote, if I had one vote for LE, it goes to Filbert. We are not sure how All-Stars are going to work. How we did it last year is 4 admins drafted 4 teams. We did the draft live on Twitch. It was a ton of fun. We did it kind of like the NFL draft, and each team got to pick 1 Plat League player. So it was 1 Plat League player and then 4 Gladiator players, because obviously Plat League has less teams. This way it was spread out.
Even though David trolled the drafts.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Team Cairo, I think, won the whole thing, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
Yeah, it was. We had a really good time, and then we played it. We played a best of 1 tournament with the all-star teams. It was a lot of fun. We had a really good time, and I think that was a really good system, and I think that's what we're going to do again.
Yeah.
It is very hype. We had a really good time.
Yeah, it was fun.
How it works is you can only pick 1 player per team, too, per captain. So, like, I can't go in, pick all of Baka Preschool, and then 1 Leaf of Leaf members. Yes, that usually happens in between seasons. We might do 2 plat players per team. We'll discuss it. That's a good idea. But we make it so it has to be different. We make it so it has to be different teammates. So I can't take 3 Baka Preschool members, 2 Leaf Elite members, and that's my all. Because that's not fair. We legitimately make it so you have to spread out the talent.
Right.
Which makes it a ton of fucking fun. No, he would technically not count for Gladiator because he was Diamond last year. But that man is going backwards. That's besides the point.
Hey, he's looking like you now.
I ain't going backwards that far. D4 to gold is pretty far. Any other good questions? There is only 2 to 3 weeks in between seasons this year. So ideally it will be like All-Stars, and then it will be like Valorant or something like that. And then that will probably be like all our off-season stuff. We're talking about doing more like in-houses and stuff. We're working on it. You guys are always welcome to run your own in-houses without us. You are always welcome. But also, I will remind you, I will remind you that next season's applications are out. Obviously, there's only a few signups because a lot of teams are still playing. So I'm assuming teams want to like finish out their season, then decide what team they're playing for, if they're playing with the same team, if their team fits into the rules, that kind of stuff. I will say that fill out your applications, guys. Like, come play in the league. We're looking forward to having you. And it's a first come first served basis. You know what I mean? It does get to the point where like we only take so many teams every season, and like they're not going fast now. But I'm going to tell you, when they do start going, they go quick. So just an idea.
I did want to make an official announcement though. We are doing a prize pool. We haven't. I don't think we're 100% yet what we're going to be posting yet, but we are going to be doing a prize pool for next season's events, both Gladiator and Olympian.
I've thought about throwing in a small prize pool for this year out of my own pocket for the teams that I know are playing in playoffs, so they don't feel like they're getting fucked. It's something me and 420 are discussing. But that would come out of my own actual pocket.
Right.
Just for you guys. But we'll see. I'm in. And how many gold teams and plat teams will there be? We're not sure. The plan is ideally 8 to 10 Olympian teams and probably 12 Gladiator teams. We'll see, though. Summer is usually the biggest season because people are not in school. Obviously people weren't in school a lot of this year because of COVID, but when signups first went out, obviously you start getting less people because of school and stuff like that. So a lot of people, usually summer's your biggest season. Usually. Especially with the prize pool, I feel like we'll pull more teams in. And I really want my community, the guys that are Hearthside every night, the guys that have played the last couple seasons even without a prize pool, I want you guys to be the teams that are playing. I don't want to leave you guys out. Because you guys went through the rough times. So as we get bigger, I want you guys to be involved. So get your applications in, guys. Okay? Ellie, you got to do win bot lane. Don't let our Dubstress win the game. That's basically literally what you have to do, BR.
That's it. Just stop.
That's literally what you have to do. Zach is going to be perma, man. Let's be honest here. Dubstress literally has PTS. But the point is, you have to not let Dubstress 1v. That's literally what you have to. Any other questions before we call it a night? We've been here about an hour. It's a good side message episode.
We're at like about 57 minutes almost.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yep.
I think Tristana's quite strong, Elspeth. Me and Matt played her last night. She feels really good.
Ash.
I also think Callista feels really good.
Ash just got buffed.
Yeah, I think Ash buff looks good, too.
Yes, sugar bun.
Yeah, that's potato. Potato. What do you got for me?
Sammy comes in right at the end.
You'll have to watch the VOD, Sammy 2 slap.
Oh, jeez. Well,
all I gotta say is Callista Leona, dumbest fucking bot lane in the history of the planet. You legitimately throw Leona into him, and Leona just R's on top of you.
It's
pretty stupid.
That 40-year-old memory's kind of getting to you. You might,
Why doesn't UC forfeit and give the win to NGC? Shots fucking fired by Potato. I don't have an answer to that question. UC has not forfeited once this year. UC is still a really good team. I just don't know.
We don't know how to FF.
Yeah.
I
think that's it for tonight, though. I don't think we have anything really else. Thank you guys again for hanging out with us.
Okay.
We do an all-pro list at the end of the year. It is decided usually the admins vote on it, and then a couple of the captains vote on it. It's actually a really good idea. We had a really good time. We do top 3 from each role. Like first team, second team, third team. It's a ton of fun. Casters, admins. We ask the captains. I don't know what we're going to do if we're going to ask the captains this year, because the captains troll every year and just vote for their own players. So it's kind of obnoxious. But we'll see. It is a good idea, though. We have a lot of fun. That's it from us tonight, though.
Yep.
Where can they find you, Kirbz, if they want more of you?
Very rarely you can find me at bkirby112 on Twitch. Very, very rarely.
Very, very rarely. You could also
You
find
can find me
Kirbz on Valorant
You can
every
find me on
night
Valorant
after
every
3
single
o'clock in the morning.
Mhm.
And then on the
When I get off
weekends
work.
after like 8 or 9.
Yep.
Kirbz is playing Valorant after this. I think he needs 2 more players because I think he only has me and Matt playing. So he might need 2 more players.
Hit us up.
If you're interested, DM Kirby's. He might help you out. Qurkii. Since Qurkii's streaming next week, where can they find you at?
Qurkii89.
On Twitch.tv. Give her some follows.
Yes, definitely. I'm not sure what I'm gonna start streaming yet. Which game? I'm kind of in the middle of Jack 2, so I'd rather want to start like a game. What happened to Quirky's blooper reels? That's gonna pick up next season, just because I kind of brought it in, and I was gonna try to do it a little bit later, but I couldn't get any good footage with me doing the stream games. I have to go all over the map, and Major wasn't actually recording all of his, so I didn't get any Major blooper reels.
It's because Major doesn't have bloopers.
That's a lie. So,
Obviously.
my goal is to start that actually back up.
Elspeth.
No,
You can find my Final Fantasy VII blooper reel. It's an ugly one.
I was gonna say, I just watched you die how many times in Resident Evil? That's kind of...
Don't even get me started. Liquor's OP, bro.
So, but I do want to start that back up. I am going to continue that. It just has to take a break until... I don't think... Major, are you playing anymore right now lately?
What, like right now? Like, what do you mean on, like League?
League, yeah.
Not really.
Yeah.
I don't really play a lot of League right now. I'm variety streaming really hard during the off season.
See, so
I am playing support next year, so I've been doing a little bit more of that kind of stuff. But it's I don't really get a lot of bloopers on
yes, E-Girl Major, yes.
Girl Major, yeah.
So maybe depending on if my goal is to... The problem is I need actual footage of people, and it was really hard. I haven't been able to record him. He hasn't recorded himself, and so it is coming. It's just going to be probably in the summer season is when it's going to kick off. And my goal is that way I have a lot more footage to work with too. So, and then he gets to choose one, which I'm pretty sure he has already chose one.
I thought I did. I don't remember though. There's 4. Elspeth. It's usually myself, 420, and it'll probably be both league directors. We'll see though, because Cairo might want to make a return because he did win last season.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to tell him he can't join in if he won. So it might be Cairo, but it will definitely be myself, Cancer, and 420 for sure. We'll be the all-star captains this year. I'm not sure who the 4th one will be. It depends on if Cairo wants to do it or if it wants to be Brer. But it will be one of us for sure.
4? I thought you guys...
Yep, 4 teams. 4 all-star teams.
Okay.
We did 4.
Yep, 4 teams, and then we do it a draft online, and Kirbz hosted the draft last season.
If neither Brer or Cairo want to, maybe I will.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
I'll
maybe if they don't want to,
pick.
maybe Qurkii will be the captain for an all-star team. Team Qurkii.
So...
yeah, but I think Kirbz will be hosting the All-Star Draft again, the 2nd annual All-Star Draft. I think he's pretty excited for it. It was a good time. Channeling his Mel Kiper. I'm excited though. Hopefully, the big thing is we try not to troll the All-Star Draft because it is kind of fun. We had a really good time.
Oh, if I'm not allowed to troll, then I can't pick Sammy.
If I'm not allowed to troll, I can't pick Sammy. It's a lot of fun, though. We have a really good time. For those of you, before we leave, no. Before we leave, I'm Major 1224. If you have not joined the Baby Dawn Club, you are really missing out. We have a great job. We have a great time. We are variety streaming right now. We just finished Final Fantasy VII the other day. We were heartbroken when we finished it. You can ask Elspeth and Philly. We were quite heartbroken. Right now we are playing Resident Evil 2. I think we're doing 3 next. we have a really good time. I do not stream League of Legends very often because I do not enjoy the game. I run a League of Legends Discord, but don't like League of Legends. But the point is, if you haven't joined us yet, you know where I am. I literally stream almost every day.
Yep.
I see you on my channel. Does you guys have anything to add before we call it a night?
Nope. I think that's about it.
All right. From myself, Mr. B. Kirby over here, and from Qurkii, Elspeth, no. That's what I'm going to say. From myself, Kirby's, and Miss Qurkii here, we're going to tell you all have a wonderful night. I look forward to seeing you all on Sunday night for the quarterfinals of Olympian League. Good night, everyone.
Have a good night.